I am right in the middle of fighting trainers that become gym leaders in the future, so that way I'll have the chance to catch Celebi. And it looks like I'll be halfway done with these battles after this next trainer. So in the meantime, I might as well continue with what I was talking about last video, which was my experience with that 7-star Incineroar. But what I didn't tell you was the minor setback that happened, and that setback had something to do with the amount of fighting Terra Shards I had. So how it happened was, I made my Mudsail's Terra type fighting so that way Body Press will do more damage after a few defense boosts, both from Stamina and Iron Defense. But seeing how that wasn't working, I moved on to Darkspawn. But unfortunately, I ran out of fighting Terra Shards, so I had to get some more, which took freaking forever. So eventually, I managed to get more fighting Terra Shards, and I turned my my Darkspawn's Terra type into fighting, so that way Body Press will do more damage should Incineroar decide to go for Flare Blitz. I will admit, it only went for Flare Blitz once, and I was kind of hoping it would go for Flare Blitz multiple times, but it didn't happen. So unfortunately, Darkspawn wasn't the right Pokemon for me to use, so I moved on to Malamar. So I use Skill Swap so that way Incineroar can't go for Bulk Up, since, yeah, that's going to lower its attack and defense if it goes for that, if it has Contrary for an ability. And then I let Incineroar kill Malamar so that way it can come back to life and retain its Contrary ability, so that way I can go for Superpower, and that way Superpower will raise my attack and defense instead of lowering it. And with a few attack and defense boosts under my belt, I was able to successfully defeat that Incineroar and catch it. Although one other Pokemon I could have gone with was Dondozo. Not really sure why I didn't think of that. Well, two of its abilities can actually help you out. Maybe Oblivious, just in case you don't want to get taunted. But in all honesty, I think you should go with Unaware, since if Incineroar goes for Bulk Up, that means you won't feel the full wrath of its attacks. Also, I guess you can give Dondozo Curse and Body Press, so that way Body Press is going to do more damage. Also, just be sure that Dondozo's Terra type is fighting. But that's all in the past, so now I'm focused on the future in the form of yet another Terra battle event going on in Scarlet and Violet. The 7-star Superior, which starts today on the 20th, and it'll end on the 22nd. And it'll come back on the 27th until the 29th. Its level is 100, which you know already. Its ability is Contrary. Its Terra type is Grass. Its nature is Modest. And its moveset consists of Leaf Storm, Gastro Acid, Dragon Pulse, and Iron Tail. And its additional moves are Sweet Scent, Breaking Swipe, and Glare. So, how would I go about that Superior? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Get rid of Contrary on Superior so that way Leaf Storm won't raise its special attack stats. Yeah, before making this video, I did take on that Superior and successfully capture it, but yeah, it did take me like a half hour to get that thing because, well, things weren't going my way. So, I used 3 Pokemon so that way I could possibly catch that Superior, and those 3 Pokemon consisted of Skeledirge, Galarian Slowking, and Delphox. So for Skeledirge, I made certain that it had Unaware for an ability, so that way Leaf Storm's special attack boost won't affect me very much. But even with Unaware, I felt as though Leaf Storm was still doing a lot of damage, so it looks like Skeledirge, I can cross it off the list. Also, I should have had Slack Off on Skeledirge, but as I said before in a previous video, that's an egg move for Skeledirge, so yeah, I had to sell it for something else. Although, if you do have Slack Off on your Skeledirge, that's good, but just make sure that Skeledirge is holding the ability shield so that way Gastro Acid won't affect you. Now, moving on to Galarian Slowking. So I gave it Skill Swap, Acid Spray, Sludge Wave, or Sludge Bomb if you want, and Nasty Plot. Also, while it's holding the Shell Bell. Skill Swap to take Contrary away from Superior, so that way you could lower its special defense harshly with Acid Spray. I did do that, but yeah, it looks to me like that strategy wasn't working out very well because Superior did that thing where it gets rid of any negative effects on itself. Okay, I defeated the last trainer, and now Curious Presence can be filled from somewhere in the forest. Okay, I'm not really sure where the rift is that contains Celebi, but it's around here somewhere. So yeah, it looks like I can scratch Galarian Slowking off the list. And then I moved on to Delphox. So the moves I gave it were Skill Swap to take Contrary away from Superior, Overheat, Mystical Fire, or Flamethrower if you want, and Nasty Plot, and also holding the Shell Bell. So yeah, it looks like I gave Superior a taste of its own medicine by stealing Contrary for myself, and so that way, whenever I go for Overheat, it'll instead sharply raise my special attack stat instead of lowering it. So yeah, I did use that to my advantage, and now that Serperior is in my possession. If you want to know what Pokemon you can use against that Serperior, then I'll throw a link in the move description, so that way you could get the Serperior for yourself. Okay, there's the Rift. Alright, I'm going to put Gastrodon in the lead, even though, well, I'm not really sure if Celebi knows any grass moves. It feels as though something friendly is waiting for you to reach inside. Oh yeah, sure, why not? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a Quick Ball, since Celebi has a catch rate of 45, so who knows, maybe I might catch it. If not, then I'll resort to Yawn, so that way I can put this thing to sleep in hopes of catching it. Although Celebi is holding a Lumberry, so if I put it to sleep, then it's going to wake back up, but doesn't matter because, well, I don't think there's a whole lot that Celebi can do to me anyway. Alright, is a Quick Ball going to do it? Nope, not even close. Okay, it's level 40, so, oh, Nasty Plots. That could be sort of detrimental if it goes for that a few times. I didn't remember that it had Nasty Plots. Let's see how much I could do with one Surf. I'm like 49 levels ahead of it, so maybe it could survive a Surf. I mean, it has 100 in all of its stats, so hopefully Surf puts its HP in the red. Okay, perfect. You know what? Screw putting it to sleep. I'm gonna throw a Dusk Ball and hope for the best. Okay, is one Dusk Ball gonna do it? Let's see. No, not even close. Okay, what's it going to do now? Oh, Nasty Plot again. Okay, it now has +6 in special attack. Well, I'm not really sure if its moves are going to do a lot of damage to me since, as I said, I'm at a 49 level advantage, so yeah, who knows. Maybe it won't do a whole lot even after all that Nasty Plot boosts. Oh, Heal Block? Okay, that's kind of an issue, just in case I want to go for Recover. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use Yawn and see what happens. Okay, after all those Nasty Plot boosts, how much is Psychic going to do? That's it? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Well, then again, what did I expect? As I said, I'm at a 49 level advantage, so yeah, it's only fitting that Psychic didn't do as much as I wanted to do. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we got it, and didn't even fall asleep. Okay, actually, to be honest, I was starting to get worried because if I didn't catch it, then the damage it would do to me would start racking up. Now, I'll be honest, I was considering to use Celebi on my team, but there's no way I could turn down Cresselia because of how sturdy it is. Yeah, Grass Psychic, I guess that's a pretty good typing, but I have to watch out for Bug moves. But then again, Bug is kind of redundant in this game, so yeah, I don't think it would matter that much. Alright, with Celebi in my possession, I'll see you in a different location. I'm here on Route 208 with this Jigglypuff because I'm going to catch it. Why? Because now I'm going after Jirachi. And Jigglypuff is one of a few Pokemon I need to encounter it. Although it has a 10% encounter rate, so you could be searching for it for a while. Alright, there we go, we got it. Well then again, Jigglypuff has a pretty high catch rate, so it's no surprise that I was able to catch it on the first turn with a Quick Ball. Alright, what do we have to say about Jigglypuff in this game? Yeah, I've seen that so many times in the anime. Oh yes, as you can see, Moltres is also in my party because it's another Pokemon I need to encounter Jirachi. Alright, what's Jigglypuff holding? Oh, Moonstone, huh? Okay, I'm not really sure what's the possibility that Jigglypuff can hold Moonstone upon catching it. Alright, next destination, Pastoria City, because now I'm going to capture Carvanha, because I don't know if you remember, but somebody here in Pastoria wanted to see a mean-looking fish Pokemon, and Carvanha is one such Pokemon. Although you don't have to show him a Carvanha, you can also show him either a Sharpedo or a Gyarados. Alright, I'm going to whip out my Good Rod, even though I could also use the Old Rod, but I like the Good Rod better. Now, Carvanha has a 10% chance of appearing, so I could be at this for a while. Alright, is this Carvanha? Nope, you're just a Magikarp. Alright, I'm just going to run away from this thing because, yeah, Magikarp doesn't give out a whole lot of experience points. Alright, I'm going to try again, and if this next encounter isn't Carvanha, then I'm just going to cut away until I eventually find it. Alright, is this one going to be Carvanha? Let's see. Nope, another Magikarp. Yeah, Magikarp is a pretty common encounter when you fish in the water. I think it's like a 60% chance of you encountering a Magikarp. Alright, I'll see you when I eventually encounter a Carvanha. Okay, found a Carvanha. This didn't take me that long to find, believe it or not. Okay, hopefully one Net Ball should do the trick, since Net Balls work best on water types, especially if that water type has a pretty high catch rate. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Carvanha has been captured. Now, what do we have to say about it in this game? Because a lot of these Pokédex entries are pretty interesting. They swarm any foe that invades their territory. Ah yes, I've seen that in the anime. And you know, just reading that kind of reminds me of that one movie, I think it was called Piranha 3D. I don't know how many of you know that movie, but yeah, that was a pretty good movie. Anyway, the kid that wants to see the mean-looking fish Pokemon is right here. Well, I just so happen to have one on me right now. It's the meanest fish I've ever seen. Firstly, I think Gyarados is a lot meaner than Carvanha. That's just my opinion. Alright, 2 wishes down, 1 more to go. Next destination, Solaceon Town. Because if you remember, somebody there wanted to see a Pokemon whose head is on fire, and Moltres is one such Pokemon. Of course, you don't have to show that person Moltres, you can also show that person either Ponyta, Rapidash, Quilava, or Infernape. Now, I believe that person is in the house over to the right. I keep thinking it's the one to the left, but no, I think it's this one. Okay, there's that person. Well, I happen to have one Pokemon like that. Well, I wouldn't exactly say Moltres is really a companion, more like a Pokemon I'm using for a side quest. This one in particular. Okay, 3 wishes down, so that means Jirachi should be waiting for me at the bottom of Solaceon Ruins, which I'm going to next. Not just yet, because I do want to make some changes to my team, especially since I want Cresselia with me, because, well, I don't know what Pokemon I'm going to use to weaken Jirachi, but if I use a move that puts Jirachi's HP in the yellow, then maybe I could use Cresselia's Psychic, so that way I could put Jirachi's HP in the red, so that way maybe I'll have an easier time catching it. Oh yes, why don't I show you the shinies I caught while doing my latest catching spree. Alright, just a second, just as soon as I put Moltres in the box. Okay, one of them is right here, Starabia, even though the color scheme could look a bit better. Alright, next up we have shiny Drowsy. Yeah, it looks pretty cool in that color. Alright, over here we have a shiny Weepinbell and a shiny Voltorb. Looks pretty cool when it's blue. And lastly, a shiny Croagunk. Alright, I'm just going to put Carvanha in the PC since I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to put Cresselia in my party as well as Dialga, even though I don't see myself using Dialga against Jirachi. Now, as for Jigglypuff, well, I don't know if you recall, but at the bottom of Solaceon Ruins there was actually a sign there. I'm not really sure what it said because it's been a while since I was last there. But now that I have Jigglypuff with me, that sign is going to change. Alright, I'm just going to register the bike real quick since it's a lot faster than the running shoes. Alright, there we go. Now, I would cut away until I reach the basement floor of Solaceon Ruins, but in my opinion, that place is kind of complicated, so I might as well show you how you can get back down to the basement floor. Now, it has been a while since I last did this little side quest involving Jirachi, so yeah, if you want to know how to make Jirachi appear at the bottom of Solaceon Ruins, I'll put the instructions in the movie description. Alright, there we go, and lastly should be this one. Alright, there we go. Okay, here's that sign that I was talking about. He who desires a wish fulfilled must first be one who grants 3 wishes. Okay, that is so hard to read. Okay, now that I have Jigglypuff with me, the sign is going to change. Trainer, dear trainer, I have a request. Bring me the Pokemon whose voice sounds the best. Well, that's easy. Primarina. But unfortunately, Primarina's not in this game, so looks like Jigglypuff will have to do. But the problem is, if I talk to Jirachi right now, then the cutscene involving Jigglypuff singing is going to immediately trigger the battle against Jirachi. So, looks like I'm going to have to put that off for next time. So next time, hopefully we'll catch Jirachi and finally move on with the game. See you next time.